Fucking Craig.
No recording.
Shut the fuck up, Craig. No one cares. Just sit down in your chair and tell us why you're here.
This is like
now recording.
This is every episode starts whenever it's with Craig. She's Talitha. Shut the fuck up, Craig.
It's true though. Every episode he says, now recording. And every time I just want him to tell me why he's here at Alcoholics Anonymous and sit down and be quiet. But every time he's like, now recording. Shut
Now
the
recording.
fuck up.
You don't need a catchphrase to be an Alcoholics Anonymous.
And he
Hi
won't answer
guys,
any of our
welcome
other
back to
questions.
Alcoholics Anonymous.
Heyo!
And today we got our friend Craig.
Who should
Now
just
record.
shut the fuck up?
It's instead of like everyone saying hi, Craig, it's
Shut the fuck up, Craig. Good
we
times.
Craig. We love to bully Craig.
Yeah.
Can we make? Here's an idea for your TikTok. Just a compilation of every time anyone has insulted Craig.
Anytime anyone has like made fun of Craig.
Hashtag Craig Talk. Alright.
Just like on your YouTube channel, just have like a video of people just dissing Craig. The owner of the Craig bot watches it. It was like, what? Why is this happening?
Alright. I'll start the episode now.
I thought it already started.
Well, I'll introduce it. Anyway, welcome to this week's episode of the Voynich Manuscript podcast. My name is Finn Hammersley, and today I'm joined by...
Talitha!
Yes, I'm out of the basement again. Let's go.
Not for long!
Let's go!
And today we'll be talking about the Tromp Family Road Trip.
My father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
Tromp, not
It
Trump.
was-
And we went.
No, Tromp. Tromp.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Tromp.
from.
Tromp.
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 Tromp. So yeah, have any of you heard this one?
No.
No,
Evidenced by us think it was Donald J. Trump.
and I don't have any access to internet in the basement.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is actually quite a recent one, and in Australia. I remember when this was on the news.
I think you just wanted us on here because we're Australian.
Yeah.
All of the people who
see
have been on this podcast so far have been Australian,
I mean,
apart from me and my sister.
Hmm.
no, I wouldn't call
No,
Josh Australian.
We see through what you're doing. Mm-mm.
It really is just a coincidence.
I wouldn't call
Uh-huh.
Josh Australian.
Then why didn't you have your sister on this episode of the podcast?
Because she said, and I quote, "I never want to be on your gay nerd podcast again. It's boring and it sucks."
She just hasn't had it with
Rip.
the right people yet.
Everyone subscribe now.
Everyone subscribe to help cure my depression.
Subscribe.
Make sure you leave a
to
5-star
Gay Nerd
review on how to
Podcast.
help Finn with his depression.
Because my sister called me a dumb gay nerd.
Is it wrong?
It's not wrong, but still hurtful.
Poor
Alright.
Finn.
So, on August 30th, 2016, Victoria police arrived at the Tromp family home in Sylvan, Victoria.
It's Victoria again.
Yeah, Victoria.
Yeah.
Always
yeah.
happens in Victoria.
Is
They
anyone here
found...
from Victoria? I need to see
No.
through what Finn's doing right now.
No, I'm from England.
I have family in Victoria. Do you have any family in Victoria?
No.
No.
Okay.
My family in Sydney.
Yeah, same.
He's targeting you.
Yeah. I'm feeling targeted right now.
You just haven't been on an episode in a while, that's all. I just want to hang out.
Sure.
That's what they all say. That's how it all starts.
So that's what they all say. That's what I say every time to get get you in, get my claws in, and just
The reason I haven't been on a podcast in so long is because you've been waiting for these episodes. You've been waiting to sink your grubby little Victorian hands into me.
Queen Victorian, that is.
Yas, Queen Slay. Like, oh my god.
We'll get into Yas in a bit later in this episode, actually.
Oh my god, is it set in Yas?
There is a bit of it set in Yas.
Oh
So,
my god.
so yeah, the Victorian police got to the Trump family home in Sylvan, Victoria, and found all the doors unlocked. A station wagon was missing, but other cars had been left behind. All the keys still in the ignitions.
Shut the station wagon was.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, we need to know the specific make and model.
We need to know how rich this family is.
God, this is gonna be like the Yogg all over again.
Did they have a small loan of $1 million?
Shut up.
Does he own a massive company? And does he try to run for
Does he have a
president?
tower?
You know, I went to Las Vegas, right, and Trump Towers had a massive wall about like 20 like 10 k's around the building. In Vegas.
Of course, the towers have a wall around them.
Yeah.
I can't find what car it was. It was all I know is a silver station. It might have been a Peugeot.
It better have been. You better not get your facts wrong.
So they're probably like your average pen.
I have it written down somewhere. I know I do.
Sure.
It's kind of like your
Speaking of
silver Peugeot station wagon.
There you go. Thank you.
What specific make and
model? I
model?
don't know what specific make and model.
What year?
Oh my
what
god!
year model was it?
I just scrolled back up and I found our favorite boy. It's our favorite boy.
Okay, if it was your favorite boy, what type of car was it then?
Hold on.
I can tell you straight away.
Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to copy this image.
No, okay, you've got 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hold on,
1.
my images are loading. My images are loading.
It was a VW Golf 1.
Oh, VW Golf.
Here we
GTI.
go. Here's our favorite boy. It wouldn't let me save my own image, so I just saved the other one.
It's your favorite boy.
Do you know what they call the You know what they call the Golf GTIs in actually in America and that way back in the day?
What?
They called it
a rabbit.
Mama.
They called it a rabbit. The Volkswagen Rabbit.
Because it kept
GTI.
fucking?
No, they're just I don't know why, but it was
It
called
does
the rabbit.
actually look a bit like a rabbit.
It's the license plate says Agile.
Agile.
A bit.
That's an E.
Oh.
Yeah.
Eagle.
Abigail. Abigail.
Anyway, back to the Trumps.
Yeah, Trumps.
So, police told the Daily Telegraph that passports, mobile phones, and bank cards belonging to the family of 5 were discovered inside, along with piles and piles of financial and business documents. They were neat and ordered, almost as if someone had been searching for something.
Mm-hmm.
By then, the Trumps, which consist of Mark, 51 years old, his wife, I've been conflicted on how to pronounce this, Jacoba?
Put it in chat.
Jacoba.
It's probably Jacoba or something like that. Jacoba, probably. Or Jacoba.
And they're 53 years old. And their 3 adult children, Rihanna, 29, Mitchell, 25, and Ella, 22, were already hundreds of kilometers onto a journey that would spark one of the most bizarre missing persons case in Australian history.
I think I've heard of this, actually.
So all 5 Trumps were ultimately located over the course of the next several days in various locations across New South Wales and Victoria.
Yeah, no, I've heard of this one. Yeah, they keep seeing one of them, but they wouldn't, or a few of them, and then they wouldn't know where the other ones were, and they wouldn't say anything. They were very suspicious about it.
Yeah,
and then they just disappeared at one point.
All the details of the case remain murky, pieced together from information provided by police and cryptic press conferences later given by Mitchell and Ella, all in an effort to satisfy the baffled press and public. So I actually have a timeline of events because I thought that would be a fun, nifty way of doing it.
It is.
This all takes place over the course of about 5 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Sorry, I forgot they skip a day.
1, 2, skip a few, 99, 100.
So we'll start on Monday, the 29th of August, 2016. So on this day, the family packed up very little things. Like they basically just had the clothes on their back, no money, no phones, nothing like that. With the exception of Mitchell, who had his phone. The family fled their Sylvan home in Ella's silver Peugeot station wagon, heading towards New South Wales. They had a little bit of money, but that's it. Around 23 k's into the trip, Mitchell's
32.
Oh, yeah, I read the numbers backwards. 32 k's into the trip.
You need 100% factual information.
Shut up. Mitchell's phone, presumably the only one, was thrown out of the window near Warburton. This was because of fears that it was being tracked. Give me a sec. I'm actually going to get a map of their little trip.
No, you weren't ready for this one, were you?
No, I thought I'd saved the picture. Clearly, I hadn't.
Yeah, I've heard of this before.
So, out of context, this just looks like we're making Jacob a girl and putting him on this trip.
Planning on where we're gonna go.
Yeah. This is where his head's going to go. This is where his hip is going to go.
Where his cerebral cortex is going to be.
So, yeah, they started at number 1 in Sylvan. At number 2, that's where the phone was abandoned.
Was it?
In Warburton.
Shut up. Yeah, in Patrick Warburton. So that's all the information we have for Tuesday.
Yeah.
For Monday, even. On Tuesday, the 30th of August, around 7 a.m., Mitchell, frustrated with his parents' paranoia, abandoned the trip in regional New South Wales in the town of Bathurst and began his journey home.
He just wanted
So
to be
he went all the way from number 2 to number 3. That's where he left.
He just wanted to watch
so that's about a day's worth of driving.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So they didn't stop at any... They weren't seeing any hotels or motels?
No, they weren't.
Okay.
Got that hotel.
Motel. Holiday Inn. Anyway. So, shortly after, the rest of the family arrived at Jenolan Caves.
No, Jenolan Caves.
Jenolan Caves.
Okay.
Near the Blue Mountains, which for some reason isn't marked on this map, even though it's an important location. Where Rihanna and Ella stole a car. So the two daughters stole a car and drove back to Goulburn.
Okay.
There, they separated ways. Rihanna was found later that afternoon on the Tuesday.
Singing Umbrella.
In the back of a stranger's ute after sneaking in and stealing a ride. The driver, Keith Whitaker, described Rihanna as catatonic and called the police. They took her to Goulburn Hospital, where she was treated for stress-related issues. Jacoba and Mark were reported missing that afternoon, prompting police to arrive at their home as Ella arrived in the stolen car. Just so you know, she actually didn't get... no charges were pressed, because after the guy who they stole the car from found out, they were like, yeah, they sound worse off than me, I'm fine.
Oh, that was very nice of him.
Yeah, he got his car back and everything was fine, but it was just like, shit, they need it more than I do.
What a based man.
Yeah. Okay, the next day, August 31st, which happens to be my mother's birthday. Fun fact.
Happy birthday
Oh,
again
yeah.
for them.
Yeah, happy birthday for that. Mitchell arrived home that morning, having caught an overnight train from Sydney. Police,
Money.
they do have a little bit of money.
Yeah, they had a little bit.
And also, when you'd assume that they'd have like an Opal card, because that's what they have in New South Wales.
Yeah, Opal card is in New South Wales.
I don't know what they have in Victoria. I've never, like I said, never been.
I don't think they have Opal in Victoria, but I know that if you stay at a hotel in New South Wales, sometimes they will give you an Opal card with $10 on it.
Cool.
It costs a fair amount for an interstate train trip.
Yeah,
If you look at the map, it's actually not that far. It's Sydney to Melbourne isn't that far apart.
That is a long distance.
It is it's like an hour and 45-minute plane ride.
That's like what, 8 hours driving?
No.
I'd say 9 to 12.
I was close.
But like
good road trip.
A train ticket would still cost a fair amount.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably at least $89.
Yeah.
That's oddly specific.
I was thinking of an oddly specific case. Yes.
Oh, fair enough. So, police searched the Jenolan Cave area, but the parents were nowhere to be found. At this point, they'd already driven back over the Victorian border to Wangaratta. At that point, Jacob and Mark split up, with Jacob going north to Yass on public transport.
Yass Queen!
Mark stayed behind.
The best way to get from Melbourne to Sydney without a car is to train, which takes 11 hours and 17 minutes, costs $75 to $250.
Damn, I was right! 9 to 12 hours. And how much was the money?
75 to 250, depending on where you go through. We'll say he goes through Bale Ninja. Okay, 9.2 out of 10 stars.
Ooh,
yeah.
10-star system. That's an odd way of doing it.
Hell yeah. Also, I was right on the money as well. So...
You're in the range. Yeah, good job.
Yeah, for both of them, I was in the range. Fuck yeah.
Let's just say we leave on the 12th of February. One person. There's nothing. That's nothing. It's all good.
Bathurst to Warburton.
Anyway,
well, you go to Melbourne.
166 Australian dollars at the moment is how much it would cost.
And don't forget, a few years ago, it probably would have been a bit less.
So let's say 140.
140 maybe.
All right. So the night of August 31st, a young couple in Wangaratta experienced a disturbing incident in which they were tailgated by a man in a silver Peugeot station wagon. When they pulled over, the driver got out of the car and ran towards them, before stopping in the middle of the road, staring at them, and then walking into nearby Merriwa Park. It was believed that was Mark Tromp.
Yeah.
My
question is, why would you pull over?
I don't know. I would just keep driving. Just like, fuck, this guy is shit. There's something wrong with him. He's clearly on drugs.
Either you keep driving, or you pull into like a service station to get fuel.
Yeah.
Where there's witnesses, not by a park.
Yeah.
All right. Too convenient.
Alright, so the next day, Thursday, September 1st, in an effort to locate their father, Michael Tromp appeared on Channel 9 alongside the police, appealing for information. He said, he's scared that people are after him. He's not in a good state of mind, the 25-year-old told Today. Who Mark thought those people were remains unclear. Is it Michael or Mitchell? It's Mitchell. I've been saying Michael this whole time.
Oh my god.
Mitchell. Who Mark thought these people remain unclear. Mitchell simply told the host, Sylvia Jeffries, that he couldn't provide a specific explanation for his parents' paranoia and that their extreme behavior shocked him. He continued on to say, "I've never seen anything like it. It's really hard to explain or put into words, or to put words on it, but they were fearing for their lives. And then they decided to flee," he said. So, yeah, that afternoon, Jacoba Tromp was admitted to hospital in Yas after a passerby spotted her wandering around the town in an agitated state.
Yas, queen.
Yas, queen. According to the Daily Telegraph, Sergeant Mark Knight of New South Wales Police said doctors at the hospital had assessed her and her mental health wasn't of a good standard.
Okay.
Which, understatement, I would say.
Yeah.
What I reckon is they got mixed with some bad eggs, you know? Some bad eggs.
Some bad eggs?
Like an Australian mafia type thing.
The underbelly?
Australian mafia.
I don't know.
That is a real thing. Yeah. It's the underbelly. I can't remember what they're called.
But they got mixed in with that, and so they tried to go on the run. That's why they threw the phone out, because they were scared that the mafia would track them, because they have people in the police force. Like, let's be real, any mafia does.
Yeah,
they have the people in the
some fucking
authorities. Yeah, pretty much
some rats.
So I reckon Mark got himself into a bit of trouble with some bad eggs, and he was trying to protect his family, and he's just paranoid that people are after him. So that whole incident with the night where he was like, saw someone pulled over and he started running at them because he was going to try and protect Jacoba or whoever it was.
Jacoba was in Yas.
Yeah, she'd gotten her Yasification at this point.
He was
Yasification of Jacoba.
Well, maybe he was like ready to take them on or something, you know, like, and then he runs up and then he realized that it's not them, so he flees before anything bad happens.
But he was following them. They weren't following him.
He's ready for a confrontation.
Yeah, he was ready. He was like, this time I'm not going to be followed, I'm going to follow you.
We've got a bit of a time skip here because there's no sightings or nothing interesting happens on the 2nd of September. But on the 3rd of September, on the Saturday, Mark Tromp was located running along a street in the outskirts of Wangaratta that evening. He was picked up by police and released to a relative several hours later. As he was driven away, he gave waiting media the middle finger, which the most Australian thing I can think of.
I know, that's such an iconically Australian thing.
It's understandable. Media tries to get into everything, fucking absolutely everything.
Do you remember that video of the guy just spraying what's his face with a hose?
Yeah.
No.
One of this press was like trying to go to this one guy's house to something bad, and they wouldn't leave, so he got the hose out and just fucking started spraying the press.
I thought you were going to talk about that time someone just chucked an egg at Tony Abbott's head.
Oh, there was that
oh my god, I remember that.
The point where Scott Morrison was like standing in front of the construction site, and like right next door was this other guy.
Yeah.
Who's been working on his lawn as his house just got built, and he's like, "Can you like get off my lawn?" While he was like in the middle of a press interview.
Yeah.
He just like stood out on his like out front of his door in a singlet, shorts and thongs, most Aussie thing you can think of. Stands out.
Can a VB in one hand.
Hands on hips. He just feels like, "Oi, get off my lawn!
Oi, get off my fucking lawn!
I'm trying to grow my lawn here. I don't need you guys standing on it and ruining it." Just like, and Scott Morrison was like, "We'll move."
Oh, yeah. Moving, yeah.
VB in one hand, Pachyderms in the other.
Just feels like, "Oi, you can't.
Oh, you can't get off my fucking lawn."
Oh my god, was that your attempted Australian accent?
I can't do an Australian accent. I have lived here most of my life. I can't do an Australian accent.
It's okay, I don't have a good one either.
Oh, yo, Shazza. Get us another Pachyderms.
Chuck us some fucking dirty, eh?
You heading down to the you heading down to the servo, Shazza?
What is Shazza even a shortening of?
Sharon.
Yeah, Sharon, Shazza,
And then
or Charlotte.
Barry's Bazza.
That's I can
My
guess
dad's
on
name
that.
is
Just
Barry.
I never heard Shazza. Mate, I was thinking Sean.
Sharon, Charlotte.
No, Sean would be Shauno.
Yeah.
Shauno.
Shauno, bro.
Yeah, Shauno.
Shauno, chuck us another VB, mate. Let's go. Maybe we
That
go
was a very-
4X this time.
That's a very Queenslander Australian accent.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't know how to describe it. That was very Queenslander of you.
My name's Barry. I smoke 3 20-packs a day of diaries and drink like 12 VB cans.
A minute.
A minute. I have a long mullet. Very, very scruffy beard.
An egg on my vest.
I love wearing my thongs. Little board shorts, a bit of a singlet, you know.
You're too good at that accent.
Ladies, check me out when I mow the lawn. Sometimes I do it without a shirt.
I can see this guy.
Very clear, just like the greasy mullet.
Yeah, real greasy mullet, like sweating his balls off, tats on his shoulders.
One of which is of the Southern Cross, the other one is of the Qantas logo.
And then up on his like left male breast area is just the Australian flag.
Yeah.
He's like, I wear this as pride, it's over my heart.
He's got zinc on his nose.
Yeah,
and
just like very visible zinc.
And none of this is happening on the 26th of January.
This is every day.
Yeah.
But the 26th of January, he goes all out. He wears the Australian flag as a cape.
He's got that massive Australian thong blow up thing.
Full inflatable, yeah.
I just recently got my garage door painted. Shows the Australian flag whenever it's closed.
Shows all our great prime ministers, and he's a headshot of all the prime minister with ScoMo right in the middle.
He's an absolute legend at the moment. Didn't really like that Tony Rabbit guy or whatever his name is.
Fuck, I love this character. Can he just be a recurring thing, please?
He needs a name. He's Jezza.
Bazza.
No.
Bazza.
Ugh.
I'm going down to the servo. I want to grab a few bunning snags. You want to come, mate?
Fucking hell. I can picture this guy so fucking clearly. I've met this guy.
I think my uncle is this guy.
I know this guy.
Everyone's uncle.
I've met him, but I haven't met him, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone has someone on their street who is just like Bazza.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck
Everyone knows me. I'm always out in the street, got my camp chair out the front with my VB, some of my boys, you know.
Rusty ute with a sheepdog in the back.
Dirt splattered on it. It's always red dirt.
We're just listening to some Akadaka while sitting out on the lawn. And good old coppers drive past. Give them a wave, and, you know, they're pretty chill as long as I'm not behind the wheel with my VB.
He's the type of guy who offers a drink to the construction workers.
Yeah, blokes, you guys are hard working over there. A pack of VBs here, some 4X golds as well. I know you guys don't like VBs that much sometimes.
Just a fucking slab of lager.
Just a slab of beer.
Oh my god, Finn.
Not doing the accent, shut up!
Here's some Northerns.
Get
a bit of Jack Daniels down.
It's Northern Brew he offers.
Yeah.
Great Northern.
And exclusively, if he goes in to stay, he hunts it down by the keg.
No, he offers the bottles.
Yeah. But I imagine at a Christmas party, Baz is just going, I was like, how old are you?
Just walk in with like carton of Great Northerns on his shoulder. What's up, guys? It's your boy Baz here. How old are you, little man? 14? Not old enough yet. 1 more year.
1 more month. You know what? You're close enough. Here you go.
You know what? I'll just give you one. Don't tell your dad, though.
Oh.
Your mum blab all you want. You know she likes it.
Oh, it's so accurate.
Your mum likes me in bed, that's for sure.
He's no one knows how he's related to the family, but you just know we just call him Uncle Bazza. And
Yeah.
hi, Uncle Bazza.
Hey, little Timmy, how you going? Mate, you're like 8. I can't give you one of these. I'll give you the blue label, the one with no alcohol in it. Start you off young.
Start you off.
Uncle Bazza, can I have a diary?
Oh yeah, son, here you go. I started smoking at your age as well.
Started selling at your age.
And it was a lot easier to get ciggies back then. So we've gone off on a massive tangent with Basil.
It's an amazing tangent, though.
Bazza is beautiful. I need a T-shirt with Bazza on it.
I'm gonna make our D&D character tomorrow, Basil.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna need a lot of water and just drinks because it's going to kill my throat. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do Basil. I'm gonna be the most charismatic person there.
You haven't smoked enough cigarettes to have a natural Bazza voice.
I've smoked a fair amount, but
yeah, not enough though. Bazza's unmatched.
You need to go from 1 pack a year to 1 pack a minute. Just all sticky tape them all together and.
Oh yeah, that hits the spot. Oh.
And you needed to have been doing that the past. How old are you?
I'm 22.
You're 22?
No, I'm 21.
Oh,
no, I'm not even 21. I'm 20. I turned 21 this year.
What?
Yeah, you need to have been doing this the past.
How old are you right now?
20.
Yeah, you need to have been doing this the past 20 years of your life.
Yeah, I started smoking as soon as I came out of the womb. Mum gave me a cigarette.
No, that's weak. You started in.
You started in the womb.
I had my mum's second-hand smoke when I was in the womb. That's how I started.
Oh, Jesus Christmas. Get back. As much as I love Bazza and want to keep talking about Bazza.
We've just gone off on like a massive tangent. That's all this episode is, the mystery of Bazza.
I had a theory, but I've forgotten it in favour of Bazza.
Everyone knows Bazza, but doesn't.
Room in your mind for Bazza.
Everyone knows Bazza, but doesn't know Bazza.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bazza's an urban myth.
Oh, Jesus.
I need a drink after this.
Or like an urban legend.
Alright,
Bazza quite literally is an urban legend.
It's an urban legend.
They were running away from Bazza.
No. Here's an urban legend in the sense of an urban legend, but it's
urban
also
legend. Alright, so back to the mystery. About a week after Mark was found and returned back to Sylvan, he stated to the press, he expressed his regret over the ordeal, but didn't elaborate on what caused his distress. He said, "Without reservation, I apologize for the hurt and concern I have caused by these events." So, yeah, what do you think's happened?
Theory, he's run away from Bazza. They took some diaries off of Bazza. Bazza wanted them back, you know?
Yeah, Bazza's got connections.
He came knocking on the door. He's like, "Oi, Mark, you owe me some diaries, man. You took some from me and I need them back."
Oh, Jesus. So yeah, any theories other than the obviously correct one of Bazza?
I'm going with like the Australian mob. That's why he wouldn't mention it.
Mm.
I straight up think he's just had a paranoid episode. And
I mean, my personal theory is the paranoid episode, which yes is boring, but it's logical.
Yeah,
it was running away from the Soviets.
No,
the whole reason that he moved to Australia was because he was running away from the Soviets, and then
they caught up with him.
Yeah, the Soviets finally caught up with him. He found out the Soviets landed in Melbourne, and he's like, "Shit!" and started driving. Then
he saw the incident in the news from how many years ago would it have been? How long ago was 78?
It would have been 48, 38, I think.
Okay, 38.
44, maybe?
I'll go with your estimation. He saw in the news 38 years ago how
38.
Yeah, 38.
Yeah, he saw in the news how 38 years ago Friedrich went missing, and he made the connection instantly that Friedrich had actually left in favor of joining the Soviets as one of their flyers, and he knew
that he saw a Cessna 128 lightweight aircraft fly over his house.
Yeah. And
then a green light.
Which came from his phone, and so he threw his phone across the way out of sheer horror, because he remembered
it was the Soviets.
Friedrich is coming for me. Friedrich is now
part
52
of the Soviets.
Or something like that. 51 something. Hold on, wait.
58.
No, 60.
58.
What's 38 plus 23?
He wasn't 23, he was just 20.
No, he was 23.
He's just 20.
Look back at your document. That man was 23.
Yeah, look back at your document.
Looking back at my document. 20-year-old Australian pilot, Friedrich Valentich.
How did no one pull me up in that episode? I kept saying he was 23.
We're too busy talking about Soviets.
Yeah, we're too busy. You were too busy talking about Soviets.
We were too busy talking about Soviets.
Yeah.
It's not you in this situation. It's we who are talking about.
It's the main culprit for this whole Soviet theory.
It's the Soviet we.
Finn's the main culprit for the Soviet theory.
Yeah.
He's the whole reason why we believe Soviets.
Not English. Finn is actually Russian.
Soviet spy.
Yeah, an endorser of the Soviet Union.
How did you know?
Yes, I like the vodka. Russian.
Anyway,
I like vodka.
Let me read out some of the theories that I found on the internet.
No.
So, at the time, there was wild speculation about what prompted the Tromps to flee. Theories ranged from psychosis caused by chemicals on their red currant farm to suggestions that they were running from debt collectors. Both are ruled out, and police didn't comment further. But it was clear that mental health played into all of these situations. One of the most persistent theories to emerge was that the family had been experiencing a psychotic condition known as folie à deux, or madness of two, which I brought up in the Erickson Twins episode, which I know both of you have listened to.
Hold on, let me go to my theories thing.
Go to the theories channel.
No, hold on.
You might have DM'd it to me.
I DM'd it to you. Let me get it up.
I'm getting up on our screen as well. Jesus, it was a while ago. There it is. Acute polymorphic psychiatric disorder without. But no, that's
acute polymorphic psychotic disorder without symptoms of schizophrenia. So for memory, it's hold on, let me just quickly read it out, the actual definition I found. An acute psychotic disorder in which hallucinations, delusions, or perceptual disturbances are obvious but markedly
this is a different thing. This is the one where they can hear voices and stuff but can't figure out what they say.
You need to sound more like a teacher when you're reading this.
This is folie à deux. This is a different thing.
Okay.
So folie à deux is basically where people in a close-knit group, like a family, where one of them experiences psychosis. In this case, it was the dad.
And it's
the rest of
the family?
Yeah, the rest of them experience the exact same psychosis.
Yeah, I figured that would be what it was.
Yeah.
I'm conflicted on that theory because I reckon it's definitely the dad's paranoia that came through. I don't believe the kids were impacted by it. I think the mother was. I think the mother experienced folia do, was it?
Yeah.
I reckon she experienced folia do. But the kids were brought along because obviously they were living with the parents, so the parents still obviously had a lot of authority over them.
Yeah.
I think the parents were so paranoid and scared for their kids' safety that they forced them to go on this road trip. And as you know, Mitchell brought along his phone with him, which the rest of the family didn't. Obviously, the daughters were forced not to take it, and Mitchell snuck his in. At which point, once they discovered it after 32 kilometers, they forced him to throw it out the window, or they took it and threw it out the window themselves.
Yeah.
So they continued on until they hit Bathurst, likely driving through the night, not giving any of the kids a chance to get out and leave the car / escape. So once they hit Bathurst, Mitchell took that as an immediate thing, like, I'm a bounce and get a train back home because I'm not experiencing this paranoia that my parents are, and I just want to be home. And then did the daughters also get out at that point?
They got out later in the day.
Okay, so
Same day, but
the daughters then found their opportunity to get out. They stole a car, went to Goulburn, at which point they split up because obviously the stress got to which daughter was it?
Rihanna.
So the stress got to Rihanna, and she
They were actually the
really had a nervous breakdown / a panic attack, quite a severe one, because I mean she's just stolen a car. Her parents are having extreme paranoid delusions. She doesn't know where her brother is. Her sister's just left her.
In a stolen car.
Yeah. And she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't have any money. She doesn't have a phone on her. So she's freaked out. And did she pass out in an alleyway, was it?
No, she passed out in the back of a ute she snuck into.
Okay, so was it at night that she was found? Or the morning?
She was found at some point.
What model was this ute?
It was a ute. It was just a ute.
I'm going to call it a Hilux. A Hilux.
Hilux.
A Hilux, which I think is a Pokemon.
I think it was a Amarok.
Amarok? Okay.
And I think it was a Triton.
Yeah, you would be one of those Mitsubishi people.
It's the only brand I know because it's my brother's car.
But I really want an Evo.
Well, I'm actually going to say, I think you're on the right track with that. But, like, I've got here, Rihanna appeared to nod to this in an interview she did with Woman's Day. She said, "You do start thinking the same." She said, "You have a few things, and they do build up. You can get sick in some way." Her siblings, meanwhile, seemed baffled at those who'd followed their story. Ella said, "It's very confusing, and I still feel confused." She continued on to say, "I think our state of minds wasn't in the best place. I can't even really... There's no reason for it. It's so bizarre."
Yeah. I mean...
And, you
know... To lend to that, imagine one day, you come home, your parents tell you that someone's coming to get you. Someone's after you, and you... Although you might be like, they're probably paranoid right now, but part of you is saying, what if they are right?
Yeah,
I don't know
it's a bit like the Yogg-Say thing again.
Yeah.
Spoilers, I haven't gotten to that episode yet.
Have you not?
I'm waiting for you to upload more into the...
It takes time!
But yeah, so there's a chance it could be true, so they go along with it, because they don't want anything to happen to them. But it's hard to say when they've admitted that they themselves weren't in a proper mind state.
Yeah.
I don't think they were being paranoid, though. The the family members. I don't think they were being paranoid. I think they were being rationally afraid because their parents have just come home, and specifically their father, I think, has come home and said, something's happened and people are going to come get us now.
Yeah.
Or whatever his delusion was. And they've been reasonably afraid because they don't have any evidence to prove that this isn't true because they've obviously haven't been in their father's, following their father for the entirety of his days, and they don't know what he would get up to and that kind of stuff. So they'd get wrapped up in it, I guess.
So that theory sounds pretty plausible. But
I
it sounds
do think
too plausible that I think it's the Soviets.
The Soviets caused it, and then the children not knowing the truth of it became wrapped up in it.
Exactly. The Soviets is what caused the whole thing.
All right, I've got last paragraph here in my document. Yeah. Mitchell said he couldn't explain what had happened either, but he didn't share his father's sense of danger when they scrambled into the car on the 29th. He went to say, I just had to go with the family because I wanted to see where they were going. I couldn't leave them, he said. But yeah, it was tough to see our family like that. I've never seen anyone like it. But the main thing is they're okay now. Everyone is safe. Everyone is well. So we can just go back to being a family again.
Except for little Timmy, because they forgot him.
The Tromps have you got little Timmy in your basement?
Yes. Pretty easy to capture, really. They left him on the side of the road.
The Tromps have since kept a low profile in the nearly... Wow, I clearly copied that from the document. This is 3 years. This was 6 years ago now. Since they've seemingly returned to their work and regular lives. So, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Of course, we don't know what caused it, whether it was actually a brief psychotic episode or not, but it's likely that it was.
Final theories.
Thank you for making my announcement, okay.
I just thought I should help you out this time.
Alright.
Yeah. Did you say final theories?
Yeah.
It's okay, then. Your job's done now. You can go home. We'll discuss the rest.
I'll take my...
We got the next podcast.
Yeah, see ya.
I'll take this next podcast as Basil.
Yeah. You're taking the lead here. This is our podcast now. You can get out and you can take Craig with you.
I'll introduce the next podcast.
All right.
Basil.
Good to see my job is this is what the workforce has been worried about. Also, robots taking over.
You become obsolescent. Craig is the new leader.
Now recording.
Now recording. Actually, speaking of Craig,
kill the host.
Craig is new host. Fuck off, Finn. So. Actually, yeah. Final theories. What's everyone got?
Well, going for the same way is Talitha's theory, but it's clearly Soviets.
Yeah.
And Talitha's theory mixed together.
Yeah.
So we've got the same thing about insanity,
but the whole thing with it merging with the previous one that we did, the previous mystery.
Yeah. So
it all mixes together.
Friedrich Valentich.
Yeah.
Friedrich was
what caused all this.
He saw the news report, realized the Soviets had a foothold in Australia and that he wasn't safe. He saw Friedrich's plane flying above his house. He saw a green reflection in his phone, threw it out, packed up the whole family, and left.
Exactly.
How about let's just link it to every other mystery we did. They also quickly wrote down Yogtse.
And
Yogtse, what year was Yogtse in again?
It was the 70s.
But what specific year in the 70s?
Sorry, it wasn't the 70s. It was 84.
84. Okay, Friedrich assassinated the man who discovered Yogtse. What was it again?
Gunther Stoll.
Okay, Gunther Stoll, that's right. How could I forget his name?
How can we forget old Gunther?
And then the Erickson twins were actually mixed up with the girls on the side of the road.
Ursula and Sabina, yeah.
Yeah.
They were actually Rihanna and whatever the other chick's name was.
Ella.
Yeah, not important.
Ella!
It all makes sense. It's all coming together.
What are some of the other ones?
Let me get my list up.
They were the ones who put Bella in which.
They're also the ones who collapsed the Silver Bridge in Mothman.
Just before this whole ordeal, they actually visited Haskell Castle.
Yeah.
And they managed to get into the hole.
Yeah. And they're also worked on the Oak Island Money Pit.
And the glowing light was Mothman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were a vampire, like Count Saint Germain.
Yeah, that's why they pretty much stayed in the car the whole time.
And you want werewolves? We'll give you werewolves.
Yeah, that's what they mistook as Mark. It was actually a werewolf.
Yeah, it was the Beast of Bray Road.
He was walking to the car, and then he realized it was a full moon, and he ran. Mark actually was a werewolf.
And then he got shot in the balls.
Friedrich was the woman who fell into the witching elm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He forgot it. He
got a sex chain.
Parachute quick enough.
He got a sex chain for joining the Soviets, so he could really hide his personality, his identity.
And the witch elm was also happened to be located in Fordlandia.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now, guys.
Then a man from an alternate universe gave him a copy of a Beatles album that never existed.
The Voynich manuscript has a multiverse.
Yeah.
The cinematic universe.
The Voynich multiverse.
Yeah, the Voynich manuscript, cinematic universe. VMU.
The VMCU.
VMCU.
Not the MCU, the VMCU.
The VMCU. Firm to you first, guys.
I meant to make this announcement in a separate episode, but it's here now.
The VMCU.
Yeah, the VMCU. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've put a lot of money towards it, and it's time to initiate. The VMCU has begun to assemble.
We're gonna start making movies soon on all of this.
I mean,
dramatic
plan
recreation.
on starting another podcast soon. Just another one for fun. But
I feel like it would be good to have like another one where it's just a bunch of friends chatting.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean,
like talking about different topics and stuff.
I won't like a few people who have been on this podcast before. I won't name any names because it's not 100% confirmed yet. Are planning on starting podcasts of their own, but and we're going to make a network of some sort.
Oh, that'd be cool. That's a good idea.
We're still brainstorming the name for the network because we just can't decide on one.
Yeah.
Cartoon.
Everyone watching, let us know what you think of Finn starting another comedy, just friends chatting related podcast. You'll get to see recurring characters such as Bazza.
Bazza, let's go, Bazza! Yeah.
All right, and I think that's where we'll leave this episode today. I've been
Wait,
Finn.
what's your theory?
Yeah, what's your theory?
Oh, my theory. Oh, what was my theory? Yes, I like the boring ones. Folly do. It's
because you're British.
Shut up. But I do like the Voynich multiverse theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all in the center of the Voynich multiverse theory is Soviets.
Yes, and the mastermind Finn. Finn is actually the Soviet leader.
Yeah.
I am the head of the Soviet Union.
Yep. You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
The British guy is the head of Soviet Union.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Finn Hammersley, head of the KGB.
This has been the Voynich Manuscript podcast. I've been Talitha, and I've been here with
Finn Hammersley.
I don't want to go back into the basement.
Back in the basement.
All right. Bye.
Bye. See you next week.